In a single day, Bluejay, Blackbird, and Crow descended into my awareness, creating an impossible to ignore commotion. What on earth did they want? And what was so urgent? Well, let's find out, shall we? Hi, I'm Deborah Lupien, bringing you an urgent message from the birds. We begin with Bluejay. Bluejay says, we're your early warning system. Ever on alert, we see and then shout the message from the rooftops. When we show up, pay attention. Be aware of your surroundings. Is there something out of the ordinary going on? Are you feeling out of sorts? We're like the proverbial burr under the saddle. We represent imbalance, causing enough discomfort to call attention to the situation. Find the imbalance and take corrective action. We deliver the message, then move on. If we come back, that's a sign there's still an imbalance needing your attention. If you remain clueless, then call upon us for clarification. We'll happily deliver. Now Blackbird speaks. We're the watchers, often unseen, perpetually present. When there's a need, we'll make ourselves known. Otherwise, we go about our business much as you. We encourage you to be aware of your surroundings. In our world, living in an unconscious state is a sure way to become someone else's lunch. While we're pretty laid back, relaxed types, don't let that facade fool you. We're always keenly aware of sounds, sights, and feelings about our environment. Speaking of which, have you looked at this place lately? It could use a good spiffing up. We bird enjoy scavenging at a good dump now and then, but let's not get carried away and make the entire planet a dump. Could you maybe exercise a little more care and clean up after yourselves? I think I can speak for the animal kingdom when I say we'd all appreciate a little more effort on your part to keep our shared home hospitable. You know, we love a good tree, one where you can perch high up to get the lay of the land. It would sure be nice if you planted more to replace the ones being slaughtered. We're not asking you to stop cutting entirely because we see that you have a need for wood products, but exercising a little foresight that one day you may run out if you don't replace would be a wise choice for all our sakes. Too often, we see humans making choices that benefit them today without a thought for the future. You might want to rethink that strategy because one day the bill will come due and you're not going to like the price tag. Actions, consequences. You might have heard that bandied about here and there. Well, it's a vitally important universal concept. Choices you make today create consequences in the future, sometimes sooner than you might think. Those consequences can carry some hefty price tags, consequences that may involve life and death rather than just pinching your pocketbook. It would do you well to remember that we're all guests here on Mama Earth. Guests should be respectful and leave things better than they found them. After all, one day you'll be reincarnating here again, and then you'll be living with the consequences of choices in your present lifetime. We think having an inhabitable planet to return to ought to be factored into your priorities. Well, I guess that's enough lecturing for now. I hope you'll think long and hard about what we've said. All of our lives depend upon it. Crow. We're an industrious lot, always busy except for those times we get distracted by bright, shiny objects. Oh, what a lot of heartbreak that engenders. There's always much work to be done to ensure the serving and thriving of our flock. But when those distractions take us off task, they throw a huge monkey wrench into our plans. After all, we're working on a timetable. Schedules must be kept to. There's no room for flights of fancy, chasing hither and thither after such distractions. For the most part, these items are useless, merely temporary fascination. If it's not useful to support the flock, then it has no place. Still, we find ourselves now and then irresistibly drawn to flashy things. We raise our young with the understanding that such things can be life-threatening and are to be avoided. Yet the urge to chase bright, shiny objects remains. You might say it's the shadow side of our nature, just as you have your own shadow side to contend with. The best way to overcome the shadow is to be aware of it. Know your enemy. Recognize it as soon as it appears and cut it off at the knees so that it no longer represents a threat. This is a lesson you might wish to consider for yourselves. Be aware of temptation so that you might identify it as soon as it shows up and change the channel, redirecting your focus to your own priorities. Save the distractions for playtime where you might enjoy them for a limited time. Then shift back into being focused and on task. Without this sort of discipline, our young would grow up playing all the time. All work and no play leaves one homeless and hungry. Certainly not the wisest choice. Where in your life are you making unwise choices? We encourage you to recognize those weaknesses, then do something about them. The sooner you take corrective action, easier and more successful you will be. Find the balance. Make a plan. Execute the plan. Celebrate your wins. Rinse and repeat. That's a time-tested formula that has worked well for us, and we highly recommend implementing something similar for yourselves. You gotta have a plan. We're birds, sure, but we don't believe in winging it when it comes to surviving and thriving. Ensuring the preservation of our kind is our underlining purpose. In unison, Bluejay, Blackbird, and Crow say, "All right now, we must be off. Toodles," and fly away, departing, leaving me to reflect upon their message and share it with you. To sum it all up, the birds want you to know there's still time to save the planet and yourself. Knowing that, what will you do? Thank you for watching. This is Debbra Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records. Till next time, bye.